My friends at AE Scripts gave me the chance to try out the all-new Limber 2, and there's a lot to talk about, so let's go! Now, full transparency, I've never used the original Limber before, but just out of the box, the UI looks so much nicer and has a few new features. But the one I'm most excited about is the limb library. There are a ton of options and they're all nicely categorized, and there's a limb for just about every occasion. So let's see what happens when I make one. Now this is what it looks like when you make a new limb. You can adjust the length of the top or the bottom of your limb, change the bend direction. I never thought about if my arm bends clockwise. And perhaps the coolest function is that you can change the direction of bends on things like sleeves. What's different about Limber from other plugins I've used is that to parent an object to the limb, you have to use what's called a locator. Then once you add a locator, you parent your object to the locator and you can adjust the auto rotation and even where it's located on the limb. To be honest, controlling the auto rotation like this isn't my favorite, but being able to move the locator up and down the leg is super handy. So for instance, if I wanted to add a knee to this limb, I would just select my ankle or my hip and hit add locator and then adjust where I want that on my leg. Another different feature is this add art button. So if I wanted to add something like this band-aid, normally I would just parent it to this locator. But the add art actually lets me add the shape layer to my leg layer, so now it'll stretch and bend along with my leg. I also found this checkbox that says flip art, so I duplicated my leg and sure enough, it flipped the artwork. Neat! To really test this out though, I want to make my own limb. So starting from a default limb, I'll change the color and the bend. And then I'll duplicate my base limb, and on my new limb I'll darken it a little bit and add some dashed lines. And now we got a nice robot arm. And now I'll just select that limb and hit the duplicate button for my other arm. And I'll do the same for the legs, but I'm going to add some shorts, so I'll add a thick red line and then add a trim path to it. And then shorten these up, and now our little buddy's ready to go for a run. Now I didn't mention what was probably my favorite feature outside of the limb library, and that is FreeK. Essentially what FreeK does is it adds a controller to the middle of your limb, and it'll let me control my arm from the middle as well as the top and the bottom. This looks nice, but I think our friend could use some armbands, so I'm going to draw a quick couple rectangles here, and then hit the add art button. Sweet! Oh no, our pal is powering down. So I'm going to give him a little solar panel to power him back up. To make it look like it's coming out of his back, I'm going to draw a path here with 3 points, and then I'm going to hit new and make sure that it's on path. And Limber will turn that path into a rig, so I can parent my solar panel and move them together. I have to say, while it took some getting used to at first, I'm a big fan of Limber 2. The UI makes it super easy to copy and paste styles, duplicate your hose, and parent art to your limbs. The FreeK function is a huge plus. And while I didn't love the locator at first, being able to parent to any segment of your limb is really nice. So I'm giving this 2 thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Happy, ow, animating, geez, stop.